So the odds ratio of something happening, to be honest with you, is much more on your father. That's, I mean, I don't know if you realize that or not. Well, number one is a husband. Number two is ex-husband. So kill Dee.
No.
I know. And I'm glad you laughed because you realize I don't think you killed her. Do you know who killed Dee?
No.
Do you know where Dee's at?
I do not.
Will you take a polygraph of that?
I would never take a polygraph.
Okay. I told your son, at this point, unfortunately, just because of statistics, you are that number one thing right now.
Spoiler details are in the video description, and the full results of all charges in the case are laid out at the end of the video.
We had a tip that your dad, buried her. We got all these stupid-ass tips.
Right.
That he went out there and did it or whatever, so of course, it was
Look into
most likely thing or whatever.
It makes sense.
Of the ones,
right, Yeah.
Of course, you got the pits and all that other stuff too, or whatever. But
you go scuba diving in those?
We talked about it. Who's going to do that or whatever, and then even I made the joke about the dogs or whatever, cadaver dogs. Their union's going to be like, hey, we ain't doing this, because of course all cadaver dog and the state police guys were standing there when making a comment, in the meeting.
Right.
Dogs are like, heck no.
That'd be a stinky job.
And just like here, the tanks and stuff, like you can't put a dog in,
right.
Kill a dog.
To do something like that.
Right. So your dad didn't do any, you simply did
Yeah,
yourself.
I did all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it.
All right. What do you think happened?
In my honest opinion, I believe in the real sense, and I assume she just used her. I'm certain she had a different phone. Call them, ask them to pick her up, and then gone.
Okay. It is pretty difficult for that to happen, though, to fall off the face of the earth a little bit. I'm not saying it can't. It happens.
Right.
But those percentages are way down there. I mean, for what it's worth.
What happened to her after they left is a different story. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Right.
If she could get with the wrong crowd, you know
right.
what I mean? You don't know what she was involved in, I guess. Yeah. Have you seen her involved in any kind of dangerous things that could lead to something like that? Or not really.
Her, no. Do those things happen on the police? 28 years, it happens.
Right. Someone's a smooth talker, and you know what I mean.
Yep, and they're out there. There's someone out there. I mean, there's people out there that certainly kill. It does happen. There's definitely no doubt about it.
Right.
For her to completely fall off like this, let's say that happened. Those percentages are just. I mean, we're down in that less than 1%.
Right.
That
you have to be.
You take off and all that. Yeah, and until she's that tech savvy. The IT guy basically has to set up her phone and stuff like that, she's not that techy.
Right.
And then there is money, so, I mean, she had some, potentially, that she had taken from here or whatever, but still, you gotta walk away from it. Which, whatever, you can do it. It's happened.
People can do it, right?
Right, it's down there, but it can happen. And then, like I said, I've contacted in Florida with a weapon, came back, so it's not to say you can't have her come down. Whatever, I mean, that stuff absolutely can happen.
Every day happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, it can happen, but this is too far, too long. We're, well over a month.
Mm-hmm.
The other things, too, though, like the strong things are, if that stuff happens, or, to me, there's only two people that's involved in this that are, I'll say, guilty of it. It's either Dee or your dad. To me, the reason I say that is the ring. Nobody gives two shits about that ring other than Dee and Dale. Like, I'm talking about the wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? She, of course, can take it off, leave it on the desk. Screw you, we're done. Here's your ring back. Take off. Oh. That's from the heart.
Dagger, right.
It's from the heart, and take it off. Your dad, the same reason, flip-flop, the setup deal. To say that, and when it's a lot of money, $40,000 or something like that, it's worth a lot of money, right. Is the other aspect. The odds, just odds, are much higher So the odds ratio of something happening, to be honest with you, is much more on your father. That's, I mean, I don't know if you realize that or not.
That's
you know, number one is a husband. Number two is ex-husband. So, you know, whatever. I even said that. Seems to be really good. I personally don't think he did anything at all. I mean, he's speaking good or whatever. And just because odds are high, that doesn't mean
that's necessarily true.
Right,
you know
right. Well, I mean, it's way up there at this point. Looking at everything we've done, you know, Dee taking off. I mean, she's way down there in the 5%, and 5% is still a percent, so it could happen. Dee could have took off. I don't know the answer yet. Okay, I don't. I simply don't. You know, I'm simply still in the investigative stages. But on the outsider looking in, you know, Dale's percentages kind of, I hate to say it, keep on growing.
You just keep saying they're growing, which is kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, no, I'll explain to you the two, though. No problem. I mean,
I'm not trying to be like defensive about it, but it's kind of upsetting. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, and it should be. It should be to you. You're like, damn, dude, you're accusing my dad. I haven't said your dad did it. I'm just telling you percentages and stuff like that. That's where I'm at.
Well, they say like,
yeah,
it's like all the crime shows are like 90% of the time. A wife's murdered, it's the husband or something.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, and you know that's it. But whatever. I will not put your dad in handcuffs. I never want to get the wrong person ever in any case. I have had unsolved, cases in my career, obviously, whether it's a breaking and entering or whatever. We certainly have them. I'm surprised in how many convictions, we actually do get, and I never want to get the wrong person ever.
Right.
But here's some of my problems. So yeah, just the stat one is up there, but whatever. I don't care.
Right,
Just stats too much. Yeah, I don't care too much. 5% still, whatever. I wouldn't arrest somebody on a 95 and 5. It just doesn't work that way anyway. So one thing, and for your dad, I want to leave your dad alone. I don't want to focus on your dad. I want to, go find her. I want her just to come home. And I told Dale, if she comes home, don't argue with her that night. Just whatever. Welcome her home. And that's what he said he'd do anyway. I said, let me yell at her. Let me. I'll beat her ass. I said, 'cause that's what's got me going. So I worked on one case today. That today's the only other day since in the over 30 days that I've worked on anything else. And I only worked on it for maybe an hour. Another case, other than that, I've been on this one 100%. Yeah, the missing person. This takes a lot of time. Sorry, that's a long explanation here, but the polygraph. So your dad's been pretty against that. It is a great tool for us. So I've used cadaver dogs here. I've used the helicopter. I flew up in a helicopter. I used our horses. I used a lot of people, a lot of other police departments, a lot of search warrants on phones, Facebook, and things like that. A polygraph is simply a tool, just like your crescent wrench or whatever else. You're popping off a tire, you're going to use a pry bar or an extension bar. So for me, it's just another tool is all that is. I couldn't even use it in court. If he failed, I couldn't even use it. It's not something he'd instantly get
So why do you use it then?
It helps. It is a tool. It's just it's that extension bar. It's that pry bar. It's something that makes it easier. It's just another thing that helps you. I use a dog. Could she be here? She actually can. I mean, this place is freaking unbelievable. All the different everything around this place. A dog can miss. I can miss. A polygraph can miss. But they're all things that, you throw together and you use out of your toolbox to try to get to something. Did you kill Dee?
No.
I know. And I'm glad you laughed because you realize I don't think you killed her. Do you know who killed Dee?
No.
Do you know where Dee's at?
I do not.
Will you take a polygraph of that?
I would never take a polygraph.
Okay, well, which is good. I mean, that's a good answer. But it wasn't the one I was expecting. I mean, you can ask me, did I kill her? No. Did I, same questions.
Right.
No. Well, yeah, I didn't kill her. I mean, but there are people that have that in their heart and stuff. Now, I'm the police, and I've seen them, work or whatever, so there's that. I'm trying to simply focus completely where I need to. I want to be able to just, it removes your dad in my mind a lot. I mean, here's the number one guy. I mean, just on paper, your dad's the number one guy.
Right.
I want to take him from number one and put him to number 5, number 10. And then I can focus more on other things. But when certain things are happening And I appreciate your answer. You know, the polygraph, and people can. They're strong. Some people are strong about their.
I don't like polygraphs.
Why is that?
I just feel like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I'll tell you my career. That's one is what I do.
Uh-huh.
One of the biggest ones we do them on is a criminal sexual conduct rape.
Okay.
I never want to put the wrong guy, someone in prison. And a lot of times in a criminal sexual conduct, it's a he said, she said.
Right.
Sometimes it's a month later. Well, a month later is no longer, semen on the bed sheets or something like that.
Yeah.
In the wash. Never want to get the wrong guy. You just simply got a girl says, oh yeah, he raped me. We had, he raped me, and the guy says, no, I didn't. Sometimes the guy say, no, we didn't even have sex because he's scared. And then a lot of times you find out, well, yeah, we did have sex, but I'm scared because you're going to convict me. Shit, dude, now you just lied about that. And I'm wondering, right, did you lie about the other? Did you lie because you had a girlfriend at the time?
Right, don't want to find out about it.
Right. Or what's what's the reasons in that? But nonetheless, so with that being said, when there's no evidence in a rape, other than he said, she said, and I have him going to take the polygraph, I see him work. I see how good the polygraph is. So then when I'm done with my report, we still almost always have to send it to the prosecutor. But mine would say review only, which means it's just a terminology. It means I'm not looking for a warrant for the person. Mm-hmm. And it's because they cooperate, and I believe in them. So that's it. Absolutely. I don't hold it against him really for not taking one if he doesn't. But it's one of my tools.
Right.
And if you didn't do something, I can't use it against you anyhow. All it's going to do is focus me away from you. Mm-hmm. That's what it's going to do. So if he passes, then I'm like, all right, now in my heart, because I don't know, I never met your dad before.
Right.
I don't know him from anything. I'm just going odds. I'm going that. I'm going, the day we were here, searching the first day, we're here for about an hour, mm-hmm. and then a dog shows up, a cadaver dog, not just a dog, but a cadaver dog, and then the drone shows up, and within like 5 minutes of that, your dad's like, he's like, oh, I'm getting sick, and it's, I'm sure pressure or whatever, but maybe internally built up too, but nonetheless, it's like, yeah, you guys are done, you gotta leave. Go search anywhere, go search the other 59 properties, but I don't want you searching here. And then I'm like, well, I didn't realize like you, but I'm like, who's your most trusted employee? Have him walk right with me. Like, I got a recorder on. It's going to show every single thing I'm doing. He's like, I got to go farm. I get it. I grew up on a farm myself. Understand the weather. You got to get stuff done in that time. Go do what you got to do. That's on. And I guess I thought at the time, have your son walk with me. I ain't gonna steal anything. I can record on or whatever. But and it still is right. He said go. So again, it's right on there, respectfully. Okay, no, we're taking off. He says, come back tomorrow. Well, it doesn't really work that good, because the other family would be like, oh shit, he left, he took her, he moved her that night, now he's come back the next day and start searching.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, but something like explain that. So it doesn't work for us, so we left, had my partner type up a search warrant, come back 4 hours later, searched, and for what it's worth, clearly we didn't find nothing, but I'm not saying you would, and there's some reasons you wouldn't. A choke, you're not going to find it. You might find heel drag marks, or you're sliding somebody. But that's also another thing. What we're not finding. Like if you're fighting with something, your mom's probably going to fight back a little bit or have a little better chance, and she's kind of that in your face kind of lady, right? Yeah. She's going to probably scratch. And I mean, Dad was good. I had him take his shirt off about 10 days into it, roughly 7 to 10 days. He's like, yeah, I took his shirt off, I took a picture of him front and back, I do that in domestics, and it just shows my shit. I mean, maybe I killed her, 'cause I'm always scratched up anyway, but, so he did, and I took a picture, but again, that's whatever. With the husband, it might be a little different, potentially, could be. But anyway, so the poly, that's where I was, getting at that. I want to alleviate. I want to rule him out.
Right.
I want to rule your dad out. Mm-hmm. He's easy to talk to. I worked 11 months in a jail, and we had 3 murder guys in the jail for murder at one point, which was amazing in Lenawee County. But this is way back in the day. And I sat right down in a jail cell, right with talking to these guys like nothing. I mean, they're fine. Mm-hmm. All three were wives, killed their wives or whatever, but whatever, they just kind of flipped or whatever,
Right.
I'm sure they probably regret it or whatever, but nonetheless, they're easy to talk to, easy to hang out with. The guys were fine for the most part. Whether they killed their wives.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
with that being said, it's not really totally fine, but nonetheless. So.
You say that, and you kind of bring that up, kind of calm or whatever. I've literally, I don't know how long they were together. Let's say 15 years.
Almost 20.
20 is that what it is?
Yeah.
I never even saw my dad raise his voice one time.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean? Which, for me, I could never, as like just my personality, deal with all the stuff that he's dealt with. That's for sure. I would have been.
Yeah, no, the finances, her taking money from one account into other accounts and all that crap. And then jewelry. Well, I mean, here's mine.
Bling bling.
Yeah, this is mine. Here's I don't spend my money on that type stuff. And she's just the opposite, no doubt about it. But again, those are also things that push or whatever. And Dale didn't do anything. I don't see Dale doing anything wrong. He works his ass off, makes some money. She spends it, but he's like, whatever, been divorced before. But I mean, everything that goes positive for him also goes negative for him too, though.
Yeah, you can look at it from both ways.
And I was on everything. I'm still completely open-minded on everything. And but everything goes both ways, literally. She's like, yep, we're going to get a divorce. In his own words, I went through one divorce, I'm not going through another. But that's not a good thing either. I mean, in some aspects, she's a get-in-your-face type of a person, I'm more of that, look, I don't want to talk about it. Most guys are that way. We'll talk about it tomorrow type thing. And I'm sure Dee's just the opposite. She's going to be in his face. In his face, no, we're getting a divorce, that's it, you son of a bitch. And whatever, whether she got in his face or what, if that happened. Hopefully she just left, and hopefully that's the case.
Right.
That's my hope, to be honest with you.
I think that's what.
Unfortunately, the odds, get mad, that's fine. But the odds are the other way. And then, so the poly isn't the biggest thing. The fact that he's, waffling on that, not the biggest thing. Telling us to leave, not the biggest thing.
I wouldn't want you to be here without a warrant either. You know what I mean? Most people are kind of like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've gotten away in a lot. So when you say most, I don't know. But houses are a little different, but.
I don't like people invading my personal space. You
right.
Know what I mean?
No,
I understand what you're saying. Like, if you're not guilty, then why are you trying to hide anything?
Well, and it's not just that. This is a different situation. I'm an ex-narcotics officer, so I was in houses all the time, asking consents or vehicles. This is different. I'm looking for your wife.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this isn't even... I'm looking for your wife, dude. I'm helping you, and I mean, that's it,
in that sense, right?
Right. If you take it that way. And he has been fairly good. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. Never told me to F off or anything like that, and he's more of a passive, interviewing, I don't know what I'm at now, probably close to 30 people. More of a passive person, non-confrontational. Sounds like he beat the shit out of the dog one day. Not too far from this time frame or whatever. The chickens, the baby chicks or whatever, got out and they came across and stuck their head in the dog cage, and the dog latched onto them and whatever. I grew up on a farm, same thing. I guarantee I'd put the boot to them too, so that doesn't mean anything. You can kill a dog, you can beat a dog, you can beat your wife 5 times. That doesn't mean you killed your wife. Right. I don't put that against anybody, because I've seen the other thing. I've seen people that have never touched their wife once that have killed their wives. So that stuff is just circumstantial evidence. It means nothing. I just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because it goes both ways. It doesn't mean anything. It's the farming season, so he's constantly doing stuff. So his time frame on the phone, we look at those things, and we're still getting those results back. And there's a couple of conflicts, which I'll end up, talking to him about those or whatever. But I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, and if he can help me, that's great. So that's where that is. You at this point are still saying, I think you're saying you still wouldn't take one.
Yeah, I wouldn't take one.
Yeah. But I mean, you get where I'm coming from.
I know. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I can't use it against him.
Right.
I would now if he failed it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm never going away from him. Until we find her, because that's one of these pretty much. He's right now. He's like the number one. There's no, there's no doubt on a ratio. He's a number one guy. Yeah. But then when it comes down from that, until we get something more or whatever, whatever. I keep looking at everything when they come in. Hardy, Greg. There's blood in my barn. Okay, so we do that. Gives us all these other things. Oh, there's a tunnel at Cedar Point. Yeah, I already searched through that. The
small hole underneath the barn or whatever.
No, I mean, it's about a 30-yard long tunnel.
Oh, I've never been in it, I guess.
On the south side.
Yeah, the south. I think I know you're
by
talking
those
about
barns or whatever. Yeah,
it's kind of, isn't it like an old barn is on top of it or something? Was there railroad ties in front of it?
I think so, but it's actually, I want to say inside of it is some kind of railroad ties. I'm trying to remember another word that you call it, not a tunnel, but the actual terminology for it. It's about, it's at least from here to the toolbox long, and it's by those barns. And it's probably big old fat guy. No, that's maybe a 4x4 or 4x3.
Okay.
You go down, and one of the dogs, canines, have gone down there or whatever, and the guy's like, I ain't sending my dog in there. Whatever, it's my case. Fuck, I'll go. So I went through it.
You were the dog?
Yeah, so I went through it, and just whatever. Obviously, there's nothing there. Just something we got to check off or whatever.
All right.
The fact that there's tile drilled, you guys have been doing tile work everywhere. Didn't make, real easy either. But whatever, that's just the business. That has nothing against anybody. But I mean, when you look at it, what's going on, there's an argument that's going to happen. I mean, I was asking for a divorce again, is what it's going to be, and that's pretty darn strong, and he's like, I don't want a divorce, I ain't going through this shit, so there's that aspect of it. If you did, there's your reason, for the most part, that, and, maybe an affair or something like that would certainly be the reason for your dad. The fact of, not going through again the finance aspect of it, it costs a lot of money. Your dad's like, look, we built ourselves up,
right.
After the, and then on the other side, could Dee go? Yeah, absolutely, she could go. Could somebody else? Could she just have that fluke and ran into, whoever she called or somebody else? It'd have to pretty much be that person, that person's a serial killer or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Something bad. We're not missing a bunch of extra people. In Lenawee County, we got the skeleton kids that are missing. Other than that, we're not. I've had 3 murders. Our last 3 murders we've had. The lady in the creek, river.
Oh, yeah, in Tecumseh.
I kayaked out to her, measured her, and so that's, I'm on that. The guy that got stabbed and killed that guy in the Meyer store.
Oh, yeah.
I interviewed that guy. He confessed to that. And then at the park, I don't know if you remember the Heritage Park. A guy just stabbed his buddy and killed him.
Really?
And shot him. Did both.
I don't know that one.
That was maybe 2 years ago. But it's just another one. So, I mean, the stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think it does or whatever. But certainly those things occur. So, and that's what I deal with, as well as other little stupid bullcrap stuff.
Right.
So, me in my dress clothes.
Going on the kayak.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Yeah, and I'll just be zoomed out, and there she is.
Wow.
So, right there. And then whatever. I got the interview with the guy killed the guy in the Meyer store too. So
really wild.
Yeah, so it's on there too. But nonetheless, so it does happen. Mm-hmm. The guy's easy to talk to. Like the guy in the Meyer is like, I want to go back to prison.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So I was like, the guy's old. He lived his life. So, meanwhile, you're interviewing, all right, well, it's my job, and
Jesus.
Appreciate it, but I'm just telling, shit happens, people kind of flip or whatever, but, so what I'm going to continue doing is obviously, we are really getting that phone stuff back right now.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's up to, the state police lab, so they're actually doing it, because it's not as easy as it sounds, you think, okay, GPS, but then they'll map it out, and primary, it's good, too, because it shows your dad. Obviously that's one of the ones we got back right away because...
There's locations where he goes
yeah,
today.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything because my phone's sitting there. So, one, you could take my phone, or two, your dad's a smart guy. But that doesn't mean he's not completely thinking. I mean, if he did something like this, he's whacked. I told him, if you did this, you're a nice guy. Your head's going to explode inside.
Right.
It's going to cause you problems.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to be able to live with yourself.
Right.
And then,
what's the thing too? Is kind of like I've been kind of confused about. I was like, you guys have been like investigating for like 5 weeks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and my dad's like prime suspect.
right.
Don't you think like if an average Joe guy like my dad did do something like that, you would have found something? Do you know what I mean?
I've done
You,
it so
you,
long
you
time.
think that he's like capable of hiding that much stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
I do. Yeah. Simply because it's not premeditated. You know, it's not something you planned out, which also can go against you too, because whatever you do something. But a lot of times somebody will tell you the truth, and they'll tell you half the truth. I mean, I'm the police, everybody lies to me. But a lot of people tell you some of the truth. So he's like, yeah, I gave her a massage. Everybody else is like, whatever. Dad, Ma would always, cringe, Dad, like, no, you can't touch me type thing, which, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a headache. Yeah, sure, when they're alone. Sure. Could he massage her? Absolutely. But one of the, things is, so yeah, gives her a massage, helps her up on the couch. People are like, hell no, she would never let him do that. Yeah, she's got a headache, she's sick. I could see it happening. Absolutely. I mean, I'm telling you that.
Right.
I could see it happening. But, so a massage. Massage in a turns, to a choke type thing or whatever. And then the choke does not have blood to a choke. You'll get vomit or what you potentially can aspirate, and stuff like that. My point being is you're not going to find blood in the house if someone chokes somebody. So I mean, and that's just me running through it. If your father did it, that would be my take on what he would have done if a choke. Again, not to leave any, because I've been in there, I've been in the house, not to leave
A lot of
any
people
blood.
have been in the house.
Yeah. But nonetheless, that's that's it. That I mean, I'm just that's how it would happen most likely. Something like that. But if someone else is doing it here, again, you more likely have the peel out marks. You have a bunch of other things. Now, someone did say, and I saw it myself when I came here, like the JCB or whatever, the tracks right up to the front door. Mm-hmm. Doesn't totally mean anything, but when it happened, someone had said, well, shit, I thought it was odd because I saw the tracks up there. And, of course, he gives a great explanation. He's like, yeah, I forgot something in the house. He ends up saying it's like this multi-tool thing that he carries, so that day he went up and grabbed it. So, yeah, it's one or the other. When I have a hunter, it's hard to carry something, so he either pulled up there with a JCB to put her in there, and moved her somewhere, or yeah, he came up there and grabbed his multi-tool. I mean,
Right.
It's straightforward. It's one or the other.
Right.
I mean, I'm convinced of that. They're both smart enough as far as they know where the camera system is. So
Right.
she's leaving. She's
She knows
smart
how to
enough
make
which way to
it.
go. If he harmed her, he knows he's smart enough which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so everything unfortunately works both answers every way. And again, I'm just trying to. I don't want your dad to be it. Trust me, I don't.
Right.
I don't make any. There's no extra money for me if your dad did something. No extra money for me if your mom left. Stepson, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. I get nothing either way. Again, I'd just much rather she come home or phone call, F you, and
Yeah,
give
if you just said something to somebody, it'd be
right.
all better. But.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's just it. It just doesn't happen this way per se. We are down into that 1%, that happened this way. I can't. It's one of those things I actually get into, missing people. We have our computer system. I keep an eye on that because I think it's important. You don't want people missing or whatever.
Right.
And most of them are simply, we've had them, car accidents, hospitals. A lot of them they call us. Oh yeah, they're missing. Most of them. I mean, within 24 hours, people come back for one reason or another. Oh, I went to go see somebody. Well, you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Those happen a fair amount.
Right.
And then we just simply, and then they never call us back. So I get into our computer, I call them up, and hey, just check the status of, oh yeah, you returned, we never called you. Oh, thanks. But but obviously that's not the case, with this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, so, no, well, how's Dee? I mean, everybody else has already told me, so I'm sure you're going to say the same thing to me. What's Dee as a person?
Depends which one you're asking about, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of saying the basically bipolar or whatever,
Yeah, I mean,
split personality or something.
Yeah, you could. It's kind of one of the things you walk through the door. You never know which D you're gonna get.
And someone else said 95% of the time D's good.
To
It's
who
that
she wants to be. Yeah.
Right, and that 5% of the time it's a different situation. You know, you stay away from her. You know, that's what someone.
Depending on who you are, the ratio is probably different too.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, absolutely.
So, I don't know. As of more time went on, I don't know, stopped walking through the door. You know what I mean? Just kind of avoided it.
Right.
Don't make a problem if you don't.
She better, obviously, with her side, you know, the kids, you know, the
definitely.
4 versus yours.
Definitely.
It's also half-ass understandable, but whatever.
Yeah. But, I mean, she was never terrible to me. Did she say some mean things to me before? Yeah, who hasn't she said a bad thing to, pretty much.
Right.
But never was I, like, beaten or anything like that. But, yeah, she wasn't...
Did you ever see her lay her hands on your dad?
Not in, like, a too aggressive manner, but I wasn't there when I heard about it happening before. I guess they were at a campground, and they got into an argument, or she was mad about something. Most of the time, when I say argument, it's more so Dee screaming at my dad, and my dad just...
I was going to get to that. So, I mean, if there's physical and then there's the verbal, so your mother would be, sorry, stepmom would be verbally abusive, potentially, obviously.
Yeah,
or something
and
like that.
I guess she's hit him a couple times before, too, but I've never witnessed that. But, yeah, she could be your best friend or your worst enemy, just depending on how she was feeling that day, I guess.
What about an embezzlement aspect? I mean, it's your own business. I mean, her own business in a sense. You know, if you take money from your own business, you take money from your own business. But what's your thought, or what do you know anything about anything like that, or no?
Yeah, I've heard some. I don't know how much. I mean, I haven't obviously looked through any accounts or anything like that. But yeah, I've heard that she's taken quite a bit of money out of the company. So I'd be pretty upset. But I think that, I don't know. My dad's known she's been spending a lot of money for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I couldn't handle that, but that's just me. I'm a tight ass.
That's why I said my dad's put up with that. I mean, he handles it a lot better than anybody else can, I'm sure. That's the other kind of souring thing in my mouth too, is that Dee always painted my dad to be like a bad guy, and most of the time, you know what I mean, just giving her half of the story and never the full context of it. But.
And I don't, because your dad and I are a ton alike. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I've never been married. I don't have any kids, but definitely dated a lot of women. And unfortunately, I put my career. I don't know why. I always, you know, phone
Get
rings.
First, yeah.
Phone rings. I go. You know, and same. You know, holidays. You know, we're the police. We work holidays. You know, so your family, girlfriend, whatever goes, whatever, they're alone. So same thing. I'm sure Dee was alone and felt alone, didn't feel loved in a lot of aspects, because Dad would be out in the field and whatever, you know, late at night and get up first thing in the morning and go.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of things. So I mean, him and I are definitely a lot alike in that aspect, and he's been working nonstop. People also work nonstop to whatever, occupy themselves, so he's not thinking about her. You know, one way or the other. So. How has he been? Has he talked to you about any of this?
A little bit, not a whole lot. It's taking a toll on him, you know what I mean? Just I'm not saying you're doing your job, you know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you, I'm taking a toll. I mean, I know I am.
It's a lot to be.
I'm here.
Even when you're innocent, if someone's just kind of grilling you and grilling you, it just takes a toll on you. And
absolutely.
The entire community is looking at you, asking you, you know, what's going on. I can't go to work without someone asking me what's going on every day. You know what I mean? And
I've told him, I told him that. I said, your business, it's got to fail. I mean, I told him, one, your head's going to explode if you did this. Your business is going to fail. It has to. Straightforward. It has to, because you're hearing it. Everyone's going to go with those odds. I will, like I said, I'll never arrest your father. You know, if I don't think he did it, and it's not just thinking he did it.
Right.
You know, it's further than that. But people are going to talk, and then because of that, they're going to do less business, thinking that son of a bitch killed his wife. He's getting away with. Other people are like, well, whatever. Money's money. I get my fertilizer. You know, and whatever. I get a good deal. I don't give two shits.
Right. Everyone's just thinking their own thing. There's so many rumors and all that.
But there's a big portion of that. You know, the other side of the family. You know, whatever. You know, they're going to say shit anyhow, and that's why I want to shut them up. I want to shut everybody up, and there's that only way. I mean, I don't, you know, I wasn't there. I thought here.
No,
You weren't here either. I mean, for what it's worth, You know, people are like, holy shit, you know, you see it on TV, they interview the neighbor guy. Man, he's the nicest dude in the world. Would have never guessed it, you know. Priest touch boys' penises.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing surprises me in my job,
Right.
you know. But again, I want him not to have done it. I want to, you know, be able to release him. So, you know, you said you wouldn't take one anyhow, but it's really neat watching because they prove to the person first how it works, and they show him, you know, about it working. First of all, he has to be a good candidate, meaning he doesn't have medical problems. And trust me, your dad's fine. You know, he's not out there or whatever. But it's just something that helps me so that I can really focus. And I would. He passes that. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean nope, he's never a suspect. But then I mean that's just me. I'm gonna turn a lot in another direction.
Right.
And not to say there's not a whole lot more to go on anyhow, to be honest with you. Those cell phones from him and her and all that stuff come back and things like that. And there's another guy I got to contact.
Did you find her like on any dating apps or something like that?
I'm doing a lot of this legwork, and I have a partner that's doing that stuff. He's just in the computer type thing and doing search warrants because that hasn't been brought up. But then you get that a lot, like even me. I mean, if you Google me, it shows I got a kid. I ain't got a kid, you know, but I mean, just
not that I know, but
right? No, well, exactly. That's what I say. But I don't, you know. But you have that, you know, there are computer systems, you know, and then identity theft, and people get in that crap all the time.
Right.
So I do have a partner doing that, but it's like, you know, Friday, get a phone. Oh, she's on Facebook. You know, we get a call, like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, you know what? Good. She's on Facebook. I mean, like, active on Facebook. Good. I mean, she's alive. Whatever. Let her keep on playing on it, you know. And if she's that comfortable, she'll play it on a little more, you know, and whatever. And meanwhile, other people run, oh, we gotta go. You gotta go do shit. Good, she's alive, you know.
Right.
But no, it's not. You know, that one was Dale. You know, Dale was on, you know, checking stuff or whatever.
Can you see the location of where it was, like, accessed or something like that, too?
Yeah, and again, I'm not on that part of it, but, you know, it's like, it's not, you know, it's not D, you know. And then, you know, got another one, or was it, I think it was Monday, you know, another one or whatever, same thing. It's like, well, whatever, relax. Well, if it's her good, good.
Right.
We'd be in Jamaica, which we've checked, you know, checked those kind of things too, with her passport. And,
yeah, it'd be hard to get out of the country, for sure, right?
Yeah. I don't know, you know, and is she that smart? But I mean, once she'd have to go with somebody, because she wouldn't go anywhere by herself. She's not that kind of a person, but leaves without. Yeah, it could happen, absolutely, you know.
Yeah.
She's one of those people that needs to be loved by people. One day, someone, you know, she's okay with you. Next day, she's a hater type thing. I've gotten that from pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
But she desires your approval.
Yeah.
Maybe not totally you know, because whatever, you're the other side, you know, the other side, or potentially the other side of the family a little bit, but. His, you know, his dad, I mean, he got strong people, and you know, he teared up on me interviewing him, and I don't normally tell what other people say or whatever, but he just basically got down to him. You could see in him, you know, like same thing. I haven't really changed anything that I said to him that I'm saying to you, you know, and he's tearing up, and he's like, prove it, you know, which sounds a little weird, I mean, a little bit or whatever, because I'm not, you know, saying he did, I'm just saying, you know, the odds or whatever, and it almost seemed like he potentially knew a little bit. We do have the phone calls from him to your dad that night. They messaged back and forth with it, which whatever. It's his dad. I mean, my dad died during this investigation. But,
sorry to hear that.
But you know, but that's all. We also look at that too. Norms. We don't just all go for 1 week. You know, we open it up for several, you know, months. What is norm? So you look at your dad's phone. What's normal for your dad? You know, like you know, like if you wake up at 7 o'clock, you know, and different. Sunday might be different for you, but Sunday might throw the church thing on there. Or you might sleep in on Sunday, depending on what kind of a person, you know, you are and your pattern. But that's what they do at the state police lab, though. They pattern people. Right. What's a norm? And that doesn't mean something couldn't switch. Shit, ask for a divorce on this day.
Right.
That's going to switch your. That's going to switch your norm. That's going to switch your norm anyway.
Yeah, you never really know.
Right. But anyway, and I mean, there's a lot to it, and I'm pretty confident in my job, and as far as figuring it out once we get the other, the phone stuff and things like that. But again, so I mean, for what it's worth, I thought there was just a few things left with your dad. I know, like I said, the poly obviously was a huge one, and if he doesn't want, that's certainly on him. But
Right.
but I it helps me, and I want to be on your dad's side, and I will personally tell people that's what I do. Hey, I'm good. Shut up.
Yeah.
And I definitely could say that to my bosses. But anyway, so anything else that I need to know, or you think that would help, or whatever? And yeah, we look at it. Definitely we'll be looking at the dating sites or whatever more. But
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I never saw it, but I could definitely see that. You know what I mean? And not to say like she intended to even do this, but like maybe she just wanted to get away, and then that turned into something more. You know what I mean?
yeah, more both ways. Oh, fell in love with the guy,
Yeah,
or the guy whacked her.
Yeah, he just
right. Absolutely.
Too,
And I'm not against that. I mean, I definitely have not ruled that out.
Right.
Actually, I don't think I've really ruled anything out, to be honest with you. So.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I guess. Hopefully, you guys come up with something on the phone thing. It lead to somewhere else. But
yeah. Yep.
Anything else you need from me?
Nope. Still got a few more, obviously family members. But again, it was one of those deals where, if someone knew something, they would tell. I mean, for the most part, anyhow.
Right.
If someone knew something, like really, because like Hardy, oh, you haven't interviewed my wife yet.
You think she knew some stuff? I'm pretty sure she would have told us about it.
Exactly. Why do I want to interview your wife? And I have priorities. Priority is the video from here. That thing's gone in 5 days. So that is something I need to do that, which obviously we have. We need to do that, which, like interviewing Todd. Todd's at 3:30 a.m., driving a semi here on that night. So, of course, we want to talk to him,
right.
And log books and stuff like that. So, obviously, interview him and whatever. All right, I think I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
So,
I'm happy to help. Like you said, that I hope that they find her. You know what I mean? Like, just she comes home. That's obviously the best case. I don't know how things are going to turn out after she comes home, but
I mean,
the best case for everybody is that she comes home.
Yeah, and Dale says he'd work on it. I say, whatever.
To each their own, right?
Right. I was screwed up in relationships before. I was like, I could be a better boyfriend, and so girlfriend left or whatever. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I apologize too. And obviously didn't end up working out, but the same thing. So I wouldn't really see it working, but whatever. That's on them.
Right.
If they separate, they separate. If they stay together, they stay together. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's their relationship, right?
Yep, none of that means anything to me. We just need to find her one way or the other, and be done with it. And that's what would happen with me. I mean, I had 3 murders. If it turns out to murder, when this is done, I will move on to my next case or whatever. And if it turns out that she's out with a dude and comes back, same thing. I mean, life goes on. I'll continue doing my job or whatever. So.
I was kind of wondering, could she get in trouble for like doing this kind of stuff?
He's like, no, I don't want her to, but I said, yeah, there's a criminal charge, which I did tell him, and I mean, especially if he said it, which he wouldn't, child neglect, child abandonment. She abandoned her daughter. Yeah, that's child abandonment. So in my eyes, I would do it. Problem is, for any woman to really do that, you got to be little nuts or whatever. And so then it comes into
nature,
that.
You know what I mean?
But then it comes into that. So when it goes to court, they're going to be like, well, she's mental, right? Stuff like that. So, but I mean, trust me, I'd go for it. You put your daughter through this, and now she's feeling shit.
She's handling a lot better than I thought she would. That's for sure.
I mean, when I interviewed her, she's good, but other people say other things. But as far as, I mean, I think she's fun.
Yeah.
I get a couple little videos of her or whatever. When she's come up to me or whatever, she's talking about building the house thing or something like that. And she's got diagrams and all this crap. It's like, Jesus. Kid's spoiled, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so. Well, definitely appreciate you talking to me. let's get this iPad back to your dad. Talk to your dad for about 5 minutes. Hopefully, when it's raining, so it's about the only time I can get with your dad.
Right. Otherwise, you don't go.
And I even said that to him, like on polygraph. I'm like, well, we're doing polygraph. I'm sorry, I can't schedule it for a rainy day because I don't know when it's going to rain. But you have nothing more important in your life going on. Him, it's your wife. You should, try to do things and help or whatever. And that's the other thing we look at. Did your dad do what a normal guy would do in this situation? And I even told him that. Are you doing what a normal guy would do? One of the normal things. What the fuck are you doing? Why haven't you found my wife yet? Things like that. But everybody is different. And your dad's a more introverted guy. He's a different guy, and I don't mean that by any means in a bad way whatsoever. I mean, like my dad, he really never hugged me. I bet you any money your dad probably. Has your dad ever told you that?
Yeah.
Has he ever told you? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I just see him as not being that kind of a guy. So
man's man kind of strong guy,
Yeah. And whatever. It means nothing. That has nothing to do with nothing, but everyone's different is my point.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I don't know. Any clue? You think he ran into the house, or did he?
I saw him out there a second ago. He's playing the house now, though. See the boat out there.
Okay. Say, how do you guys know what truck is what?
Mine's GMC.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, good enough. That was it. Again, I just obviously had to touch base with you. Your name was brought up because of the cow aspect, and that was a huge one for our tip. So when I went, that day, I don't know how many people we had that day. I had 8 different teams going out doing searches. That each team was a decent size or whatever. It's manure. I picked that one because it was the most likely. That. Whatever, just because of the cell phone that was showing, his location or whether he's somewhere and stuff. So, most likely that that would be a spot or whatever. So I hit that or whatever. I feel confident we did good there.
I can't believe you guys did that. Good for you, man. I'm proud. I'm good that you guys are digging into things. I'm not afraid to go into it, but wow.
Yeah, no, but I cheated. I didn't really tell my bosses that, but I don't lie either. So we're out there, and I'm like. I brought shovels and crap, and I'm like, you gotta have a goddamn bobcat on this property. So sure enough, I pulled back up to the house to talk to Tom. And I'm like, by any chance, can we borrow? You got a front end loader or bobcat? He's like, use it, do whatever you need to do. So sure enough, I jump in it. I'm like, well, he's like, yeah, go ahead and take it. I'm like, no, let's not go ahead and take it. You're gonna have to show me how to operate this thing first a little bit. So that's what we did certainly. Jumped on it and whatever. Drove it out there and started digging away, and just kind of leave it at that. But should have. And then we just so whatever. I mean, here's the state police helicopter. Somewhere.
Oh, you got to fly that?
Yeah, so I'm in the back. Yeah. Here's obviously the farm here, so flying over the farm.
You guys have
Yep, and this is actually for heat, but let's see.
I can see the turkey. Wow.
We lifted up from the airport, and we just literally lifted up, and they already zoomed in on his house from Adrian.
Really?
With the camera system. I'm like, okay, it's just
deep. Punching coordinates or something?
Yeah, it was already punched in because I had I don't know how many coordinates I already gave them. GPS spots. I think literally 50 pieces of property, so I think we had all. 50.
Got busy for a while.
Yeah, well, we didn't do all 50, but nonetheless, in here, coming in at the airport landing or whatever. So here, that's my leg or knee or whatever, but it's coming, dropping down. But so here's obviously that's your pile. Yeah. So 2 DNR guys and state police anthropologist chick. And then we even went down probably a little 3 foot down in the ground. Yeah, it's kind of clay in some areas too, so it's not that it's not the easiest to dig or whatever.
Right.
And we had a cadaver dog. I had all state police people with me. Looks like DNR kind of state police, but anyway.
Can the cadaver tell the difference between animal and human?
Can. That's cool. And there's the pile, and there's obviously the Kubota or whatever. But we took it, moved it over here, and then moved it all back. All right, so I appreciate it. I obviously already know if you hear something, get a hold of us, and I just hope someday that we get the phone call from Dale saying she's here. coming here and lay into her or whatever.
You know how many of the pain he calls everybody.
Yeah. Oh, and that's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm going to say to her, but, I have to try to refrain myself a little bit.
Right. Thanks. Yep.
You going Tom's? Okay.
Take care of this first. This is obviously for the eye. Bam. The state police, people that are doing the cell phone thing, they actually were in town today on talking to the prosecutor on a homicide deal. I'm sorry, not even homicide. All the shootings the city of Adrian's been having. So they were in town talking to them, and they were supposed to be coming over to us afterwards, and they never made it. To kind of start to go over the stuff, the phone things. So there's that. I'll give you this. A couple of things. Speaking with your son, we've been over it a million times. I'm trying to alleviate you. I told your son. At this point, unfortunately, just because of statistics, you are that number one thing right now. D's the number two thing. D's the number two. I told him I just want her to show up. I'll lay into her type thing after a little bit, but at this point, we're still. I told you there's that one other guy. I started looking into him, and I'm still looking at that. Hopefully tomorrow, I hopefully will track him down and actually interview him tomorrow.
Did you ever talk to?
I did not. But who's
farm manager over by Onstead Rollin area.
Okay. Why? What's the deal with him?
I know she was pretty chummy with him in her emails, or not emails, text messages at one time.
Okay. Did you ever confront her about him or something? No?
I asked her about him, but she just moved on.
Gotcha.
That's the answer I would expect.
Gotcha. Some text messages, sometimes we don't get. Phone companies have really changed. They just, obviously, if they're on the phone, like your phone, we'll get your, those we get. But when we do like search warrants on phones, we don't always get everything.
You just get the phone number.
You get the phone number sometimes, and sometimes we do get stuff. It just depends on the company. It depends on how long back. So some things will be there, and some things aren't. And again, I personally have not seen them. I got Detective Sharp. I got a female that's been doing a lot of this stuff as well. And obviously, like that one that was on here at 10:40 at night or whatever, which I'm sure you heard. He's been on that. Yeah, he's
That's kind of in charge, or was in charge of this case.
Well, and believe me, we've had some different talks, and it's not too professional for me to go into that with you. But I've talked to my boss, and I'm dealing with. He's not my boss.
I asked. I says, you know what? You haven't been part of your sister's life for the last 15 years.
There's that, absolutely, and that's I even said that.
And he's like telling me all this stuff. I know my sister. You don't know your sister.
Absolutely.
And I says, why did your sister?
Yeah.
He's like, what? She didn't. I ain't getting to it.
And that's it. Don't you don't need to.
It's
Whatever.
not worth the battle. I mean, I did everything I could do to push her towards him because he's the only family she had left.
Yeah. Then there's the other, the guy on the phone I was talking about, guy or whatever, and he's like, oh, she would never talk to him. They went to school together, and everything I checked into,
So he
checked out,
He was saying something about they were talking about turkey chicks
Right.
or something.
Yeah, but it is true, because, we go there, we look at the phone, and when I talk to him, he's telling me that, and I sent a partner out there because it's going nuts, and she, oh, I went by the house. What the hell are you doing that for? She would never talk to somebody that has a house like that. Really? I mean, I went to, Britt and myself. She went to Tecumseh. I probably talked to just about anybody at school.
When did you graduate?
87.
Oh, yeah, so you're right.
So, it's just one of those deals that, whatever, really, she can talk to whoever she wants to type thing. And I don't think that was by any means, but anyhow, I got a full statement from him, and That's not to say that no, he didn't do something, but I mean, at this point, we're pretty adamant that no, that guy is basically harmless, didn't do anything. So, what I know there was. The polygraph thing, like I said, I'm not here to beat you up or anything like that. We've been over this. I want to focus elsewhere. It's just one of those things. Those are the questions. If you do that again, then I can literally focus a lot more at other stuff, and I can even tell other people that knock it off. He's done everything we asked.
Even if I do that, they're not going to knock it off.
We've been over that one, and you're absolutely right. I agree with you on that, but that's it. So, will you do it?
I'm not interested this time.
Okay.
All right. Saying I will in the future, but
okay. No, and I appreciate that.
I don't see the point right now.
And I'm not gonna beat you up on that anymore because
that.
I've asked you, and that's it. And the same thing, man or word or whatever, and that's it. So if you ever change your mind, let me know.
Okay.
And I mean, literally, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to completely turn my focus right now, based on everything. There's number statistics, and unfortunately, my focus has to be. I'm a man. I'm straightforward. My focus has to be here somewhat. Don't get me wrong. I'm still got people doing everything else, including myself. That's why I'm the one that's interviewed these other guys.
Has Dale came up with anything on phone calls or phone records? Or
We have, yes, we have in some aspects, and some things are somewhat jacked up on you, but it's not as easy as you think. There's professionals that read that and tell us things. It shows you like at 3 a.m., being at places or whatever. But I'm not going to tell you that and be wrong. So rather than that be the case, we want them to be more accurate.
Well, I'm going to be places at 3 a.m. because I'm still working.
We're talking that night. We're talking, that night.
Oh, that night?
Yeah. And then you had said, no, whatever, midnight, 1, 2 a.m., you're going to sleep at 2, but you're here on the couch, whatever. But rather than being wrong on that, and then when Detective Sharp started checking into it, the professionals will look and they can explain on why it's bouncing off of a tower, saying, certain things or whatever. So rather than us get it wrong and tell you, what the hell, why'd you tell me you're in bed at 2 a.m. when it tells me you're elsewhere? So I don't want to tell you stuff and then be wrong about it.
I could say like the next day or whatever, yeah, I'm working till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm planting, so.
Yep.
Yeah, my phone probably never stops moving this time of year.
Dale Warner was charged with the murder of his wife, Dee Warner, and with tampering with evidence after her disappearance in April 2021. A Lenawee County jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and evidence tampering on March 10, 2026. On May 7, 2026, he was sentenced to 31 years and 3 months to 60 years in prison for the murder conviction, plus a consecutive term of 17 months to 10 years for tampering with evidence, with credit for time already served. As of July 2026, Dale Warner is serving that sentence in the Michigan Department of Corrections. His son, Jaron Warner, who had faced related charges of evidence tampering and accessory after the fact, had those charges dismissed in May 2025 and is not currently facing prosecution in the case.